Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR. Up front is a 2.0 liter inline 4 and down below is a CVT. Now I am super excited to be driving this new Nissan Sentra because it is all new for the 2026 model year, and I am down here in Phoenix, Arizona to test it out here with Nissan. We're going to be walking through what's new, how it drives, and what it's like for the new Nissan Sentra. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackbradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2-liter inline 4. Well, that is a holdover from the previous generation of Sentra, as a lot of this will be. It makes 149 horsepower, and it's okay. Now, Nissan told me that they are not doing a hybrid in order to save cost. It would push this well into the mid-30s, low 40,000s of dollars to develop a hybrid system for it. So NA 2-liter is the way that they're going now. Like I said, paired to it is a CVT. This is the same physical CVT as the outgoing Sentra. However, they have retuned it. It's a little bit more responsive, but it is still drony, and on the highway, it has nearly no power. Now, that is something that is to be expected out of a vehicle like this. This is an economy car, a nice economy car, but it's an economy car. And so the CVT and 2-liter really reflect that. And last but not least, the Sentra is, of course, front-wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the Nissan Sentra? It's okay. Like I said, the CVT is pretty restrictive, and 149 horsepower isn't a whole lot to work with. But it'll get you where you need to go. They have retuned the suspension a little bit, as well as they've added for sport mode. It will actually adjust the steering of the vehicle, where past sport modes were just a transmission setting. So that is nice to see. It does firm up the steering a little bit, help you be a little bit more agile, and I like to see that. Overall, this isn't really a driver's car. And I did ask Nissan, I said, hey, when can we expect a Nismo? And they said, not anytime soon, although the chief engineer did confirm for me that the Nissan GT-R engine and drivetrain does not fit in the new Sentra. So you can take that home with you. Visibility is good. Ride quality is fine. Again, you got to remember this is a pretty much sub $30,000 car at most price points, so it's fine for what it is. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I do have a 12.3-inch display. Now, if you get the base model, it will come with a smaller display, but everything SV and above will have this nicer display, and I really like it, and it works really well. On the steering wheel, on the left, we do have our adaptive cruise control settings, as well as volume, and off to the right, we have our selector for that gauge cluster screen, as well as our skip track and phone options. Off to the left, we have a climate control vent, trunk release, heated steering wheel, and lane keep assist. And moving on to the door, we have power locks, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get another 12.3-inch display. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for the nicer trim levels, and it looks good. It works well. This is in line with Nissan's more recent infotainment system, so I like that quite a bit. And this does have something called My Q Garage, which is actually a way to link to your garage door opener, and the car will tell you if you left your garage open, if you left it closed, if you did close it, all that sort of thing. So that is a really cool feature. And here's the backup camera. This does have a 360 camera as well, which again is a very nice feature to have, certainly for the price point. Down below, we do have some climate control vents, our hazard switch, skip track, and camera button, as well as our volume knob. And then we get our climate controls. This does have an optional dual zone climate package that is $650 for the cold weather package, and that will include dual zone as well as heated seats. I don't like this panel just because it is piano black and it is going to smudge up really quickly. In the Murano and Leaf, they actually use other materials that work a lot better, so I wish that they migrated that over to Sentra. Down below that, we have two USB-Cs, a 12-volt outlet, and our start-stop button along with a cubby. And then we have our shifter off to the left, plain Jane shifter, nothing really too crazy there. And then down below, we have our drive modes, just for sport, standard, and eco. Power parking brake, auto holding brake, auto start stop, on and off. And then we have cup holders off to the right. We will do a big freaking bottle test. And I'm going to say it fails because it does sort of fit the big friggin' bottle, but it keeps popping back out, and it is bending the plastic in order to get it to fit. So at the end of the day, I just feel like that's an overall fail. Then we do have the center console with nothing in it and the seats. These are Nissan's zero gravity seats, which basically tries to keep your spine in a certain alignment that alleviates the most amount of pressure. They got this in the Nissan Kicks as well as the Nissan Leaf. So nice to see here in the Sentra. It does have this nice red stitching in it for the SR trim level, and that's exclusive to the SR trim level. So pretty neat there. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2026 Nissan Sentra SR, and a couple of things to note. First of all, knee room's good, headroom is good. This is not industry leading. The Civic does have a little bit better backseat space, but I'm 5'11" and not a small guy, and I fit back here, and that's very nice to see. We also still retain the zero gravity seats for the back as well. We get the nice orange/red stitching, and we have 2 cup holders in here, as well as a USB-C. However, we do not get rear climate vents for the Nissan Sentra. A little bit of cost savings there. So, something to note. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. So Nissan has been able to make their trunk a little bit lower and a little bit wider than the outgoing Sentra, which is very nice to see. This is my friend's equipment bag. But as you can see, it does fit a 55-inch TV in the box in the back. So very, very cool to see that. Not really any other crazy features found around the back of the Nissan Sentra, but there you go. It's a trunk, and it works. Now we gotta talk about the looks. And I like the look of this Sentra SR. This is finished in energetic ember, which I think is a great color. And the SR does get a couple interesting design cues, like a little spoiler at the back. The front bumper has more gloss black on it than like the SL trim level. Has a little bit less gloss black and things like that. Overall, I think this is an incredibly, incredibly handsome vehicle, and that's really nice to see. Nissan is really going full bore with the niceties here, and I love to see that. At least when I see these around in town, I will think that they are relatively attractive. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the all-new? I say all-new, but 90% of the mechanicals are actually carryover from the last year. But whatever. What do I think driving the new Sentra? I like it. I do like the car. I think Nissan is doing a couple of things really, really well right now. The interior is a nice place to be. They're a nice car to look at, and they have solid features, again, for the price point. This is up at $31,000, but every trim level for the Sentra starts below $30,000, with the S starting around $23,000, which in today's market is becoming harder and harder to find. I think you get a lot of car and a lot of features for that number. You have their safety sense system, you have adaptive cruise, you have wireless CarPlay, you have the heated seats, dual zone climate, ambient lighting, zero gravity seats, Bose audio system. I think this is a pretty good package. The only lane in which this doesn't really compete with its competitors is the driving experience. That 149 horsepower does not cut the mustard. I wish that they would offer like a 2.5 or something, but the driving experience has been rather lackluster. But besides that, if you don't care about carving canyons in Phoenix, Arizona, if you just need to get to work, you want something that's reasonable, something that's going to not feel like a punishment to drive, this is great. It's a nice place to be, it's nice to look at, and it's very, very presentable for not a lot of money. So green lights, I would say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Nissan for flying me down here to Phoenix, Arizona, putting me up in the Global Ambassador Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona, so I could drive their Sentra. They've been absolutely wonderful to work with, and I'm excited to see these on the roads around me. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.